Hi everyone and Happy New Year. My name is Kristin Hayes and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today we're going to be making this pretty sunflower birthday card. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a piece of just jade for my base. And I did cut this at 8.5 by 5.5 and I scored it at 4 1/4. And then I have a layering piece here. This is the Flowers for Every Season DSP, and we're going to be using 3 different pieces out of it today. So I'll just show you really quickly. They're really beautiful. I keep my 6x6 in a little quart-sized bag so it doesn't get all messed up. And then I'll just flip through a little bit for you. They're really beautiful papers. So we're going to be using 3 pieces out of there today. And the first piece is a layering piece. And this is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this right to my base. All right, center that on there. And that's good. Then another piece I have, excuse me, from the same DSP is cut at 4.5 by 3 1/4. And then finally, this little piece is cut at 4.5 by 5/8 of an inch. And I'm just going to adhere this on the bottom just to give it a little more detailing. I didn't put any ribbon on this card, so I wanted a little extra. All right, we will line it up. There we go. And I'm going to actually adhere this piece on as well, just so we don't lose any of our little pieces because we're not going to be using it again. So I'm just going to pop this up on some dimensionals. And then we'll put that right on. All right, I wanted that piece at the bottom, that detailing. All right, there we go. So I'll put that aside and we'll work on our other elements of the card. So we're going to stamp this sunflower next. And this is out of the Celebrate Sunflowers cling stamp set. And this does come in a bundle. So we have matching matching dies. And you can see you have the nice big sunflower, you have leaves in here, the center. It's a really, really pretty bundle. So we're just going to use this little one today. And I have a piece of Scrap Whisper White, and I'm just going to ink this up. Sorry, this never stays still for me, the grid paper. I need to anchor it down some way. All right, so we're just going to stamp this right here. Give it a good press. There we go. And then I am going to run this through the Big Shot now before I color it in, because I hate spending the time to color, and then if it jumps on me, then you have to do it all over again. So I like to put it through before I color. All right, so let's just line this up like that. And I don't know, did I say Big Shot? I meant the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. That's a mouthful. All right, so we'll put that on like that and we'll run it through. Looks like we did a good job here. And then we're ready to color it. There we go. So I'm going to use my stamping blends, and we don't have the colors in this yellow color here. That's actually Bumblebee, and there isn't a stamping blend for Bumblebee. So we're going to use the Daffodil Delight, and we're going to add some mango in with it as well. So all I'm going to do is come through with my dark and just outline each petal. And we're just going to go right around. And then I'm kind of going in the center where there's any black lines, just to give it a little more depth. I always like to start with the darker blend and then work my way down to the lighter ones. But you can do it however it works for you, obviously. So we're just working our way. That's a leaf. Oh, and you know what? I think I forgot to pull out the cinnamon for the center. We'll grab that in just a minute. It doesn't take too much time to do this. And I really love the look of the blends with this stamp set. Okay, so now we're going to come in with the light Daffodil Delight. And you can use the brush tip or the smaller tip. I'm going to use the smaller tip just so I have a little more control. But you can obviously use the brush tip, might make it go just a smidge faster. But we're just coloring in the whole leaf. And if there's any places you want to make darker, you can obviously just go right back over again with your dark Daffodil Delight. Okay, and then to give this just a little more depth, I wanted to add some of the dark Mango Melody, and I really did a light hand with this, and all I'm doing is just going over in the center where some of those black lines are. It's not very noticeable, but it's enough that it made me happy anyways. There we go. So now we'll outline the leaves in the dark Just Jade. Let's see, twist it the way I want it here. And again, I'm just outlining in the dark. This almost takes up the whole leaf anyways, but we'll go over it with the light just to fill in those little spaces that didn't get ink. All right, and then again, I'm going to use the smaller tip just so I have a little more control. There we go. And let me just grab my, I use cinnamon cider for the center. Let's see here. Here we go. So for the center, I started again with the dark, and you can see it's full of dots. And there's no way I'm going to go over each dot exactly. So what I did is I outlined here, and then I just kind of randomly put dots. Whether I'm hitting them exactly or not, it didn't really matter. And again, closer to the center, I'm just dotting like that. And then this one I will use the brush on. It's a bigger space. So I'm taking the light cinnamon cider and just going over that. And again, if there's any places you want to make a little darker or emphasize, just come back in with your dark again. We'll just give it a few dots again. There we go. That looks good to me. All right, so we'll put that piece aside for the moment. And then we're going to work on our sentiments. Now, the first sentiment we're going to do is Let's Celebrate You. And this is a sentiment out of the same stamp set. And we're going to emboss. So I'm going to take my embossing buddy. And then we're going to ink up. Let me just grab a piece of scrap grid paper here so I have something to put the excess powder back in with. And I'm going to ink this up in Versamark. And then just, I have more paper here than I need, but that's okay. And then we're going to just spill or pour, not spill, our white embossing powder right over where we stamped in the Versamark. And then we're going to just tap that excess off. Whoops, now I spilled, right? Let's see if I can get this without making a humongous mess. Here we go. Yeah, pretty messy. Not the first time I've done that, though. Alrighty. Oops. Embossing powder, when you spill it, it goes everywhere. My goodness. Okay, so I'm just going to take my heat tool and heat this up. There we go. And I'm going to put that aside for a minute, and I'm going to come in and stamp our happy birthday. Now the happy birthday is part of the Timeless Tulip set. I just like the font on it and it seemed to go well with the Let's Celebrate You, so that's why I chose this one. This does have a matching punch to it, just so you know. I didn't grab that out to show you, but it's in the annual catalog, I believe, that stamp set. So I'm just going to ink up in the Misty Moonlight. And stamp right here in the middle of my scrap Whisper White. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to run these through the Big Shot. And the Let's Celebrate You, I'm using a piece from Timeless, what is it called? Timeless Textures, I think. Timeless Labels. Tasteful Labels. Oh my goodness, not timeless at all. Tasteful Label dies. This is the whole set. And you can see these are a lot of great layering pieces for sentiments. You can stack them on top of each other. A lot of great shapes for different size sentiments. So that's great. We're going to do that with this one. And then for this, I wanted something similar to this, and this is out of the new spring catalog. It's the Messages Die. It coordinates with the many messages. Whoops, I have an avalanche. With the, oops, sorry about that. I hate it when I hit the camera. This coordinates with the many messages stamp set, and this is actually one giant stamp set. And I find it easiest when I stamp with this to use my Stamparatus, because then you can go over it again in the same place if you didn't get enough saturation on your first stamp. But anyways, this will line up and this will cut all of these sentiments out in one shot. So we're not doing all of them today. We're not even using one of these sentiments, but I'm going to show you. You can just use it singly as well. All right, so whoops. Alrighty. Pick this up. All right, so we're gonna put this on here. And what I'm gonna do is I just want to center this happy birthday with this cutout. Let's see if I can, there we go, that's a little bit better. So I just want to center that on, And then it will cut out the other shapes. I probably will save those for another project, the ones that come out fully, but I didn't need to do a whole sheet of paper. I've cut out quite a few different colors already to use as layering pieces on other projects, so there's only so many you need. But if you wanted to use the whole sheet, you obviously could, and then you just have them for other projects. Alrighty. So there's our happy birthday, and you can see it cut out the other shapes. So I'm just going to take these that are whole here and put them aside, and the rest we'll put in the recycling right here if they want to come off. But this is great because you can just use it for all kinds of different things. It doesn't have to be that, you know, specific stamp set that it coordinates with. You can use it for anything. So then we're just going to send this through as well. Now for this one, I wanted the Let's Celebrate You towards the bottom a little bit because we're going to layer that happy birthday. Just want to make sure that that's straight. There we go. All right. Put the Big Shot away. Big Shot Stampin' Cut emboss machine. I said Big Shot for 10 years and now it's stuck in my brain. All right. Die cut machine. Maybe we'll say that because that way it's not such a mouthful. All right. So to set this up, let me just look at my sample here and make sure I'm doing it the way I did it. So we're going to put this on with dimensionals. And I did come off of this blue a little bit. So I lined it up. Whoops, let's put it on the right way. So I lined these up to the edge just so it comes off a little bit. There we go. And then for this one, I'm going to put mini dimensionals here and then just a little bit of adhesive here to anchor it. There we go. Just a little bit. And I'm gonna just, that comes off just a little bit on there. And then that's anchored. And then we're going to add some dimensionals to our flower. And you can angle this any way you want it. I just wanted it in the corner here. And you are all set. So here is the card we made. Here is our original. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.